I share some wisdom with you that changed my life? That it took me years to fully understand and learn and to actually change? I learned some things about codependence and narcissists and sociopaths. I learned I was a that I needed validation from other people, and that got me into unhealthy relationships. But the key to the understanding for me was the moment that I realized the common denominator. Why does this always keep happening to me? Not that the way that I was treated was right, but it keeps happening to me. So I'm the common denominator. So what is it about me that keeps bringing these people into my life? And that was the beginning of my healing journey. That was the beginning of me learning that I needed to change, that I can't control how other people act, how other people behave, but I can change how I behave. I can change how I act, and I can learn to set healthy boundaries, and I can either accept certain kinds of treatment, or I can grow a backbone and say no more. I realized that I needed to get off of the pity pot and stop living in a victim mentality, because if you walk around with that, it's kind of like a beacon saying, hey, I'm an easy target. Come get me. I'm a victim. All you abusers out there, hey, look, I'm a victim. When you walk around like that, you put a target right above your head, and they can spot you. It's crazy how that works. So I had to accept the fact that I was the common denominator and I had to change. I did research. I listened to people like Jordan Peterson and Dr. Ross Rosenberg and a few others, and I began to work on boundaries. I went to 12-step meetings, and the 12 steps definitely helped me a lot. And I got some advice that was a little hurtful and not so helpful, because see, the thing is when you're an addict, they teach you that people don't want to hear that you're sorry anymore, which is true because you said it a million times. But when you are around people that are abusive, some things like that aren't helpful. So what ended up happening was I ended up trying to cater and earn back the respect that I lost, only to realize that I fell into the same trap again, but it was with my family. So, long story short, when I came here to DC, there were still some things about myself that I hadn't accepted yet, that I hadn't come to terms with. And when I got put into a facility so that I could get off of the street, I couldn't run anymore. It was time for me to hang up my running shoes, and I had to face the fact that I had control issues because I'm a perfectionist, and that comes from my insecurity of not being good enough. So I was made to believe that if I perform perfectly, I'm good enough, I'm worthy of love. And that had to be shattered. So God put me in a situation where I had zero control, where I was targeted, but I had to change my actions. Didn't mean that the actions of others were right, but I had to change me. And you may have heard this story before, but for 4 weeks in a row, God used a song during one of my little internal episodes, because I was trying not to explode in anger at the way that I was being treated and targeted. I couldn't even breathe without being targeted. Everyone else got to do whatever. They could do whatever. But if I even stepped one little pinky toe out of line at all, I got it. And I was like, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna go back to my tent. And I was having an internal hissy fit. And I plopped down during chore time at the kitchen table, which is when we got to listen to the radio. And I didn't even hear the song until I plopped down in the chair, my arms crossed. I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna go back to a tent, because this blah 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 blah. As soon as I plopped down in that chair, I heard the lyrics, hi, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me. And I'm like, I really don't want to hear this. Yeah. Second week in a row, same song, same thing. I plopped down in the kitchen chair, and as soon as my butt hit the chair, hi, it's me, I'm the problem, it's me. Third week, I went to sit down in a different chair. Different song, same thing. Second, my butt hit the chair. Sit down, be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Fourth week in a row, I was tired of being the only one to put the meeting on, so I didn't put the meeting on. Out comes the staff, throwing a fit. Why isn't the meeting on? How come no one's putting the meeting on? I wasn't going to say anything, and I did. I said, because I didn't want to do it this time. Tired of being the only one that does it. And the song on the radio, which I didn't notice, the other girls did. She pointed it out. She goes, you hear that? You hear that song? Always trying to start something. With your big mouth. Always trying to start something. I had to face character flaws about myself that were ugly, that were not pretty, that I detested in other people. And I had to look in the mirror at myself. Like, okay, God, how do I change that? Well, you let go. You surrender. You be humble. Stop trying to control everything around you to make it perfect. You can't control other people's behavior. You can only control your own. Had a lot of hard lessons. And the way that I was treated the majority of my life by people was absolutely wrong and disgusting. And I didn't deserve it, but I had to learn how to change myself, how to set boundaries. I had to learn all these things so that I no longer find myself in those situations, so that I could have peace no matter what circumstance I was in, so that I could be a better person, so that I could be a better example of Christ, so I could be a better disciple, so that God could use me how He wanted to use me without me and my character defects getting in the way. And God will remove character defects one at a time. Sometimes He won't. Sometimes He won't remove things. But what He will definitely remove is whatever is in the way of how He wants to move and how He wants to move through you. So instead of trying to always point the finger at everybody else, whether or not they're right or wrong, we always first have to look at ourselves, how we're behaving. And it's not an easy thing to do. We have to show respect and humility so that we can show people that we are different from the rest of the world. And what makes us different is when Christ lives in us. And when He lives in you, He will change you from the inside out. And He will convict you on things. And He will begin the work in you. And He won't stop until it's finished. So if it's not good, He's not finished.